Hey, what up, fam? It's Goldberg from the morning show on 99.9 The Point, and I figured I'd share with you my experience with the new Marvel movie Ant-Man and give you my spoiler-free review. Ant-Man is a great family movie, just flat out. It's a great family movie. It fits perfectly into the Marvel universe, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So recently in Marvel movies, swear words are becoming more and more prevalent. They're not dropping any F-bombs or anything like that, but they are saying swear words. So take that in mind when you see this, but it is still a family movie. Your kids aren't going to hear anything they haven't already heard from your wife or your husband from across the dinner table. When it comes to Ant-Man, when it was first announced, a lot of people were thinking that Marvel, when it comes to their cinematic universe, was digging or scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to their characters. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Actually, Ant-Man in the Marvel universe is one of the most important characters when it comes to all their superheroes. In the comics, Ant-Man was actually one of the founders of the Avengers along with his wife, Janet Van Dyne. He was also the creator of the big baddie robot villain, Ultron. Back in the 80s, Stan Lee even tried to get an Ant-Man movie off the ground. However, with Disney releasing Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, a lot of movie studios thought, we don't need another shrinking movie. Also, whenever they first announced that they were doing an Ant-Man movie, everybody was really excited about the director, Edgar Wright. He's a great comedic director. He's done things like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Hot Fuzz, and Shaun of the Dead. However, due to creative differences, he left the project and on came Peyton Reed. Now, a lot of people were really worried that that was going to spell, doom and gloom, not because they don't trust Peyton Reed, but they were just, well, what's going on? Why is the director leaving a Marvel movie? But in actuality, it was probably the best move to keep this movie within the Marvel cinematic universe because supposedly Edgar Wright really wanted to take the movie in a tangent, in a direction not connected to the theme of the rest of the movies. So recently, Marvel has a trend in their phase 2 of their cinematic universe to have a theme with each one of their solo movies. Iron Man 3 was a tech thriller, Thor 2 was kind of magical and mystical, Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier was a spy thriller, and even Guardians of the Galaxy was their version of a space opera. Ant-Man, which technically wraps up phase 2 even though it came after Age of Ultron, continues with that trend being a heist movie. And it is a great heist movie. They do a phenomenal job of bringing in the right cast, the right team, and great writing to make a really solid movie. I, for one, was actually worried about Paul Rudd taking on the mantle of a superhero. As much as I love Marvel movies, I was like, ooh, they usually cast everything so perfectly. Is this their first swing and a miss? No. It's a home run. Paul Rudd knocks it out of the park. He does a phenomenal job, not only actually make an emotional connection with the audience, but he does a phenomenal job in the action scenes. He's very believable, and I think he was fantastic. I think it was perfect casting once again. The rest of the cast rolls out with Michael Douglas playing the original Ant-Man and Paul Rudd's mentor, Hank Pym. This, once again, is perfect casting. Really, Michael Douglas can be cast in anything, and he does a great job. Evangeline Lilly plays Hope Van Dyne, who is actually Michael Douglas's character's daughter, the love interest of Paul Rudd, and she's going to have a nice future within the Marvel Universe. Corey Stoll does a great job as Darren Cross, aka Yellow Jacket. He's the main villain in this movie. Also, as a villain, this is like one of the first times, this person just isn't crazy. Oh, I'm a bad villain. No, they actually come up with a true reason and they explain why this guy is such a D-bag and actually trying to, destroy things and sell things and be a baddie. They actually explain that, which is actually really refreshing. There's also a bunch of other people in this movie and everything like that, but the one person I do want to point out is Michael Pena. Oh my goodness. This guy plays Paul Rudd's buddy, his friend, his cohort, and he steals the show. He is hilarious. The majority of the comedy comes from Michael Pena. He is fantastic. I want to see him in more Marvel movies. I really do, playing this character. Paul Rudd was funny. Yes, he was. He was funny like he always was. Michael Douglas was even pretty funny. But Michael Pena stole the show. It's worth just going there to see him play this character. He's fantastic. Now, you may be worried, oh, well, if there's that much comedy in the movie, is that going to ruin it? No. Actually, the comedy that is in this movie and the jokes are actually perfectly timed, perfectly placed, and they fit into the dramatic scenes, they fit into the action scenes, they fit into the comedic scenes. It is actually perfectly timed and very, very well written, and it flows perfectly. You also may be worried, oh, well, you know what? I haven't seen all the other Marvel movies. Am I going to be lost? Well, the answer to that is no. Now, there are nods to other Marvel movies and other Marvel characters, but as long as you've ever heard of the Avengers, which, who hasn't, you're going to be fine. You do not need any, other movies to kind of enter into this one. This is technically an origin story, but this kind of kicks off phase 3, even though it kind of wraps up phase 2. It's kind of interesting how they placed it. They said, oh, it's a phase 2 movie, even though it comes after Age of Ultron, which I think is more of the connection between Age of Ultron and the phase 3. It's kind of that bridge movie to the next Captain America movie coming out, which is called Civil War, which is going to be crazy with all the characters in it, which Paul Rudd has already been confirmed he is going to be in that movie. So if you're a Marvel fanboy like me, go out and see it. You're going to love it. You're going to be very, very happy. If you were kind of on the fence on whether or not you're going to want to see this, but you like Paul Rudd, go check this movie out. You're going to be very pleased with the way it turned out. And if you weren't planning on seeing it, I would suggest you go see it anyways, because if you like heist movies that have got comedy and action and great special effects, some of the best special effects I've seen in any Marvel movie. It's pretty fantastic. You definitely should check it out. Not taking any of the Avengers movies into account, I like this movie so much, it busted into my top 5 favorite solo Marvel movies. Number 1, Captain America Winter Soldier. Number 2, the original Iron Man. 3 and 4 is battling out right now between Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man. I think I'd like to see Ant-Man one more time before I make a definitive decision. And wrapping up number 5 is actually The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. So that's my thought on the new Ant-Man movie. I think you're going to be very pleased with it, whether you're a Marvel fan or not. I think it's a great action, heist, comedy. I mean, it really has everything, and it's just a good movie. And there's a few teary-eyed moments in it, and so many laugh-out-loud moments that fit right into the vein. They don't feel misplaced or anything like that. You definitely got to check it out. Once again, I'm Goldberg from The Morning Show with 99.9 The Point. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking us out. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and listen every Monday through Friday, 6 to 10 to me on the air. And follow us on Twitter and Facebook.